So campaigners are challenging the way Radlett Airfield was sold off by Hertfordshire County Council at the High Court today. Developers have been trying to build a rail freight interchange on the site for the past 15 years. Here with more background is Tony Fisher.
Now, this all goes back to 1985 when the former Radlett Airfield was gifted to Hertfordshire County Council for £1. In 2006, an application to build a rail freight terminal on the site was submitted by developers Helioslough, now part of Segro. It was then subject to 2 public inquiries, which I remember covering. Both times, the company's appeal against St Albans Council's refusal to approve the scheme was dismissed. Then, in 2012, Secretary of State Eric Pickles was minded to approve it, and in 2014 full planning permission was granted. It wasn't until 2023 that the 300-acre parcel of council-owned land was sold to Segro for £34 million. The rest of the 1,000-acre plot was sold to the developers by private owners. The hearing today is not about the planning permission, but the way the site was sold off by the council to the developers. Campaigners believe the council should not have sold the land, as it was bought for the nominal £1 fee, specifically so that it would be kept as open space, as covered under the Open Spaces Act. Today, their case is being heard as part of a rolled-up hearing at the High Court. In the first part of the hearing, campaigners will seek permission for a judicial review of the council's decision. If that is granted, the judicial review will then be heard. Ultimately, campaigners suggest that if the judge finds in their favour, the land, regardless of who owns it, will have to remain as open space. A spokesperson for Hertfordshire County Council said the decision to sell the land followed all due process.
Nuala Webb is from the campaign group Save St Albans, Fight the Freights. She's also a Lib Dem St Albans district councillor and is on the line now. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This has been an incredibly long-running saga, hasn't it, when it comes to the planning permission?
Yes, it has. It goes back over the attempt to stop development on the site and to preserve it as open space goes back 40 years. And the decisions that were taken in 1985 by the County Council when the Redland made their gift of the site for £1 that was to be in posterity for the people of the area and to keep it as open space.
Could I ask why you are against this development?
Yes, this development, we don't want to rerun the whole planning things. This is about the sale, but it's crammed in between 2 densely populated villages. It has no direct link to the motorway network. The rail connection won't work because the intermodal traffic, the wagons are 18 inches too high for the tunnels. So it'll be a lorry-to-lorry hub, in effect, which wasn't what was originally forecast. And the pollution, the loss of the green space, it basically joins Watford to Park Street to London Colney, and we're becoming slowly an urban Greater London, which was not what the people who took the decisions 40 years ago intended. They intended it to be kept as open space in perpetuity, and the land was granted there, and we are arguing that it was given to them as a trust and should therefore as a statutory trust, and the council should not have sold it. They needed to have public consultation. The only public consultation we had is 18 years ago. I've had residents who moving within 50 metres of the site who had no idea that this was being built on their doorstep. And already with the pile driving, with the dust, with the noise, with the cutting down of trees, that it's been an absolute nightmare for local people. I've been to see, we're not against rail freight. If it really was rail freight and if it wasn't being built right up against 2 densely populated areas, then we would be in favour of it. The site up in near Derby is ideal. It's away from communities, got good rail links, got good road links, but this isn't it.
So today at the High Court, it's about the sale of the land for £1 to Herts County Council. What do you think will happen?
To be honest, I'm not a lawyer, so I have no idea. All we can do is present the evidence that we've got. We've had problems with that because we're challenging Herts County Council. They control all the evidence. The documentation that pertains to this agreement and the donation of the land has, for 3 different layers of government, for Herts County Council, for St Albans District Council and the parish councils, is all missing from mid-84 to 88. So we have witnesses who were around at that time and were county councillors who confirm what we are arguing, and documentation. It depends on the judge looking at the evidence to decide at the point of law whether what we're arguing is correct.
If you win, is that the end? Is that the end of the project? And if you lose, is there anything else you can do?
Well, there are. You do get 2 chances at a JR, and we will have to look and decide about that. If we win, I'm sure they will appeal. These things are never simple. There's a lot of money at stake. They are claiming that we are prejudicing them, but they got planning permission in 2014. They only started to do something in 2023. We haven't created most of that delay. That was due to their own policies and planning things. It's been a long process. In fact, because there was nothing happened between 2015 and 2022, at the end of 22, all the people in the local area thought it wasn't going to happen. Nobody was aware of it, and there has been no consultation. We're still talking to loads of people who have no idea that this is, or had no idea that this was coming.
Okay. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning. That was Nuala Webb from the campaign group Save St Albans, Fight the Freight. Now, we did approach the developer for a statement, but they did not reply, and we will, of course, keep you across the outcome of the case here on BBC Three Counties Radio.